In a recent video I did a little bit of riveting, and I lamented that my old pop rivet tools, although they were adequate in other riveting jobs I've done in the past that used smaller rivets, were getting a bit outclassed, and so I bought this still relatively inexpensive Arrow RHT300 swivel head rivet tool, which, like this one, but unlike the USM one, which only has two dies, this one does have the four common smaller sizes, just like this one does. And I was finding that it was very difficult with the larger rivet, and I grant you a little bit of arthritis on my part, to squeeze it hard enough to break the I can't think of the proper word, the shafts of the pop rivets off. So I was looking around for something a little better, and I had contemplated getting a pneumatic one. And what I've got instead, I'm going to try it out, return it if it isn't good, is this Astro Pneumatic. It's their extra large Blind Rivet Adapter Kit for a electric drill. And this one takes not only the four common smaller sizes like you'd find in your basic hardware store tools and rivets, it also handles the larger 7/32 and 1/4 inch sizes. So it comes with all the dies for those, comes with the small wrench, and then the tool itself. Now, it seems like a number of companies sell the same exact item, or at least things that are extremely close to it. So I don't think Astro makes this. I'm not sure they even designed it. But this is what they call their ADR14. And I think there's also another part number for that, but that I've seen somewhere. So here's the kit itself. It has its own little storage box, and when you open it up, put this back where it belongs, and a number of the pieces had fallen out and are rattling around loose in here. Yeah, so a couple of the dies had come loose in shipping. So you've got a manual in here, 4 pages. Looks to be pretty good. Good illustrations and so on. And according to the manual, these are called nose pieces. I was calling them dies. Nose pieces does sound like a better word. And that's they call it a wrench kit. It's one part. I don't know how that qualifies as a kit. There's the parts breakdown. The tool itself is apparently machined, although some of it may be part of a casting, I'm not sure. Machined aluminum. It doesn't weigh all that much, but this is where the nose piece screws in. One of the 6 nose pieces, the 1/4 inch one, comes installed on the tool, and then this is where you attach your electric drill using a standard 1/4 inch hex drive, just like any screwdriver bit or anything else you'd chuck up in a drill. According to the manual, the capability or capacity of this tool, and it lists the 6 different rivet sizes here, and it mentions which types of rivet material. You can use aluminum ones in all sizes, steel, copper ones in all sizes, and stainless steel in all but the 1/4 inch size. And there's the so-called Y dimension, must be no larger, they show less than here, but the website says up to 1/2 inch. I guess if you're infinitesimally smaller than 1/2 inch, there's no practical difference. And they show what they mean by that here. If you put your pop rivet through your couple pieces of material, the part that sticks out on the far side can't be bigger than 1/2 inch. So that's its draw capacity. I think that's just saying that the tool doesn't draw more than 1/2 inch when it pulls on this part of the rivet. If you had it longer than that, if it stuck through the material, if you selected a rivet that's too long for the thickness of material, you might get to a point where the tool just can't pull this enough to compress this part fully and make a tight joint. So I think that's what that comes down to. So they're saying they recommend for the cordless driving tool, doesn't have to be cordless, but they say cordless here, you should have an adjustable torque setting, a chuck capacity of hex 1/4 inch or 6.35 millimeters, minimum 12 volts for aluminum and steel rivets up to 3/16 inch, 14.4 for stainless steel rivets up to 3/16 inch and through 1/4 inch in aluminum. My go-to tool for this is a DeWalt 18 volt unit, so it's should be perfectly capable of anything this tool can be used for. And of course you'd put it in the screwdriver mode, not the drill mode, and the lower setting up here. You can also use it with a pneumatic driving tool. Then down here they say your rivet must not require more than the maximum stroke limit of this tool, which is 0.7 inches or 18 millimeters. Now when I was studying the website trying to decide if I should buy the ADR14 or its similar but slightly lesser sibling, I forget what the number is at the end, I think it's a bigger number like 36 or something. That one should be almost comparable, except it doesn't handle the two largest rivet sizes. That one said, on the website, I'm pretty sure it said that the draw on that one was 0.7 inches and 0.5 inches for this tool, like it says here. I wonder if they just forgot to update this part of the manual. It's almost like it's written for the smaller tool in this regard. So I don't think I'm going to believe the 0.7 inch part here. I think that's a mistake. So I'm going to try this out here. Hopefully the camera will pick up what I need. So I have 3 rivets here, 2 shorter ones and 1 longer. They're all 3/16 inch rivets, meaning that the diameter of the part that goes into the workpiece is 3/16 inch diameter. Now the pin here, I don't know what that is. I had it set up for this tool. Yep, that's the right size. That's a 3/16 inch nose piece that would fit this shank here. Okay, this is a 1/8 inch one. That's not the size I want. That isn't right. Every 30 seconds. I'm striking out here. .3/16. That's the size I need. So I'm going to use the included wrench. Put in the 3/16 inch one. had to back off the chuck a little bit here to get it to go in because it was up against the spring. Okay, so that's in there. This whole thing screws apart, by the way. It's all concentric threaded parts. There's a little porthole on the side here where you can see the actual gripping part of the tool, which is called the chuck jaw pieces, very much like chuck in a drill press or even a drill like this, except they're serrated, of course, to grab onto the pin of the rivet. So I need to cut a couple work pieces that will fit these rivets because they're already more than 1/2 inch, and this tool won't pull them down enough. Except I think I can still try it out and just not pull it fully. So I'm going to put the drill in reverse mode. Until I can feel it hitting the open end here, which should mean that the chuck is fully open. So I'm going to put in the rivet and then switch the directions on the drill and hold this part. So you can see there how it did pull it in pretty nicely. And now to release it, I reverse the drill direction. It's still holding on to it. I'll spin it some more. And now it comes out. I have a .185 diameter drill bit here. I'm going to drill a couple holes in some scraps of metal to try this out. This is equivalent to the 3/16 inch shank diameter. Okay, I have a couple pieces of scrap aluminum drilled out for 3/16 diameter, and I'm going to try to rivet one of these onto another one. Putting this rivet through, let's see. Doesn't go through. Did I screw up on the hole size? Okay, I should have used the next bigger size of drill. It was just a little too tight. So I'm going to try to rivet on this little piece onto this piece. The rivet does fit through now, and it's 1/2 inch from the workpiece to the very tip of the rivet, to the ball. So I'm going to throw a washer on there. A couple of these washers to make up a little bit more of the difference. I do a rotation check, make sure it's going clockwise. I put the rivet in the tool. Okay, let's see what happens. It properly snapped the rivet, and this part is on there good and tight. Now to release that broken off piece, I just reverse the direction of my drill. Still a little bit more. Oops. There. Let's try another one. Rotational check. You really have to hold the tool at least a little bit. And there we have it. It's so tight on there I can just barely swivel it around. There. This didn't actually pop out of there, but it's clearly broken. There. I just had to grab it with the pliers and it came out. I think if it was still attached to the tool, I could have just yanked this part out of there easily enough, but I chose to eject it before removing it from in here. So I would say I'm quite pleased with this. There was not a lot of work being done by the drill. It was certainly capable of doing a lot more. I don't have any doubt that I could have pulled a steel rivet or a larger diameter rivet within the capacity of this drill. The tool seems to be very solidly built. It was easy to use. I wouldn't say this is the ideal choice for a production line. There are better and more expensive tools for something like that, but for, I think, you know, a guy working on a job site or somebody working in their home, or perhaps a lower production business, this is probably a pretty good solution. I forget exactly what I spent for it. I think it was $65 or something on Amazon. This is one of their, I always forget what they call it, Amazon Select or something like that, which I think just means that it's something that they sell a ton of, so they have a lot of happy customers buying them. Now here's a howdy-do. I try to put this back in the case with the 3/16" nose piece on it, and it won't fit because they profiled the case to have the 1/4" bit, or the 1/4" nose piece in there, which for some reason has a shallower nut on the end. So that's pretty dumb. But now that I know this works and I'm not going to return it, I think I'm just going to use my Dremel tool to cut this piece of plastic out of here a little bit so it fits with any of the nose pieces installed. So now it fits in there better, plus some slop. I ended up just using an X-Acto knife on it. It was easier than the Dremel tool.